You are on with the Ruckus. Who am I speaking to?
This is Mauricio Herrera.
Mauricio El Maestro Herrera, welcome to the Ruckus. Thank you for joining us again. Always a pleasure speaking with you. The man of the hour, probably, aside from Floyd Mayweather, probably the most talked about man in boxing in the last 48 to 72 hours across the boxing social media and boxing news. Again, for those of you just joining in, of course, I'm joined by Mauricio Herrera, El Maestro, who was in the fight with Jose Benavidez this past Saturday night at the Cosmo in Vegas on HBO. Didn't receive the decision victory like the fight against Danny Garcia. Most of us watching felt he won the fight. On my card, I scored the fight 115-113. Ryan, what was your final score? I'm sorry, for the card?
I didn't score the last 6 rounds, but I think that I thought he edged 4 of them.
Ismail, how did you score?
I had it 116-112 for Herrera.
Okay. Well, Mauricio, let's get right back into it. Here we are again. The fans and, most of the boxing media watching the fight felt I haven't really heard anyone say they didn't believe you won the fight. There were a lot of close rounds. Like Ryan, I scored the first 2 rounds for you, the next 2 for Benavidez, and 5 for you, 9 for him, 7 through 10 for you, and 11 and 12 for him. Have you had a chance to go back and watch the fight and kind of reflect on the performance and do your own scoring?
I watched the fight. I'll be watching it over and over, like always. With the Danny fight, did the same. And, the more I see it, the more rounds I start giving myself. I guess the most important thing, I think, is that I won the fight, and didn't think it was fair in the scoring.
I'm not even sure what to ask you. You feel you won a fight. Those of us watching the fight, granted, we know that your competitor is promoted by the rival competitor who's headlining the card. You just go in there and fight as your competitor. You guys can't really do anything about the judging. All you can do is fight your fight. Which rounds do you feel, were there any rounds that you watched and you felt like, okay, this is a definite, I know you saw some that were definitely for you, some that were for him. Which rounds did you think were kind of close and could have gone either way?
I think somewhere on the 4th round was kind of even. I thought I was winning most of the beginning, and I gave him maybe middle round, 1 or 2 rounds, maybe towards the end another round, maybe 3 or 4 rounds at most. But I thought I took it all the way to the end too. I thought I closed out real good. Being the champion, I thought I was aggressive in every round, taking it to him like the champ should, and I never wanted to give him the lead, never wanted to give him the control of the fight. So even when he let off a combination here and there that I didn't feel was enough to steal a round, I would try to come back with something, or even show that I was the aggressor and the champion, and I thought all that the judges were seeing all that as well. So I felt comfortable that I was winning the fight. All the way to the end, I even thought that I was winning the fight, that I even went and let it all go the last rounds, just to entertain the fans.
All right. Ryan, do you have a question for Mauricio?
Yeah, what was a little unusual to, fight a guy that was, so defensive-minded and interested in countering more than anything. Did that to make you lead all the time and be aggressive? Was that a little? Do you think that perhaps got you tagged more than you normally would have been hit?
Just one shot here and there that would land. Yeah, I think that's probably why he would tag me. He wasn't able to throw a full combo and land. I think by doing it that way, he was able to land by just waiting for a counter. But it would be one shot here and there or 2 shots. He wasn't busy enough, but it was a good tactic. It was a good tactic to throw 1 or 2 punches and wait for a counter, but he wasn't doing it often enough to pull the round off.
How much do you value punching power and how a round should be scored? Because even though if you were touching them more, it seemed that those 1 or 2 shots that you would get off would be more heavy. And do you think that swayed the judges?
It can, but I don't think he landed too many of them to I don't know what the judges were watching. I mean, there were shots that were he was missing a lot of those shots as well. I mean, 1 or 2 shots or even 3 shots a round that I've been working, for most of the rounds, and I don't think it was going to be enough. If you threw more power shots, I think it would have made I would see it going that way. But just the combination at the end of the round, just because it was a little big or flashy, I don't agree is enough to win those rounds.
And his team contends that they were confident that their fighter won the fight, but before the decision was announced, from what you saw in the ring, do you think that they thought they won?
No, I mean, I know his dad's looking for a knockout. He was kind of worried, like Danny Garcia's dad was in the corner, kind of rushing his guy to get out there and finish me and take me out in the last couple of rounds. So yeah, it didn't seem like they felt they were that comfortable. I mean, even after the fight, his dad went over to the locker room and said, hey, they kind of saw us all pissed off and screaming in there and was on his guy, his dad. He said, hey man, I tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna bullshit the scores. When they were being read, I figure it was Mauricio. He's the experienced guy. They were gonna go to give it to him, and when they called my son's name, hey man, I was happy. I'm not the judges, so we're rolling with it. And basically what he was saying. So that also told me, they weren't confident. They were going with it, and anybody else who after that maybe started interviewing, they just probably started to believe it themselves.
How confident are you that you can get a rematch?
I'm real confident. I think we can get rematches. I think even with Danny, but who knows?
No, Danny doesn't want to fight you.
Yeah, no. Well, they were saying they were going to rematch you, but I don't know. I don't know if they would. And to me, it doesn't matter if they don't want to rematch me. So I won, and I can move on and just keep fighting bigger and better and bigger names and keep exposing these guys. I think I'm gonna change my nickname to the Exposer now. And you know what? Doesn't even. I mean, this fight. I'm still gonna be. It's just motivating me more with this fight. I'm gonna just keep on. Training harder and why not work on some power. Because that's what judges, I guess, the only thing they look for now. But then again, who knows? If I do work on my power and KO my next opponent, maybe I'll get disqualified.
or accused of being on PEDs.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy. Obviously the fans like to see you bring a great fight. They keep bringing you back into these fights. People say the old adage, sometimes a loss can do more for your career than a win. But how do you keep yourself up for these matches? Because, really, it's just really unfair. I hate to say that. I hate when my kid goes, "It's not fair, nothing's fair." But how do you mentally keep yourself up? Because, really, it's not fair. Julie Letterman, who had the most ridiculous card of the 3 judges, even her own father said, if my daughter doesn't score this card right, I don't know what to tell you. And, of course, she had to ask that scorecard. How do you pick yourself up mentally? Physically, you're clearly ready.
Yes.
How do you mentally keep yourself engaged in taking these fights?
You know what? I just been getting motivated since I guess my first robbery that I thought I won on Showtime on Chando, and just thought I still had more to give and thought that I would still deserve to be in the spotlight. Still got a lot to prove. It's tough. It's motivating, but at the same time, I don't like to let it get me down because if I think about it too much, overall what could have or should have happened, you can really get down on it and let yourself down. But I just tend to think positive, and then fans and reading comments and interviews, all this just keeps me positive, and I just stay motivated to continue on, and as long as the people are watching the fight, the judges, and I'm gonna just keep doing my thing and keep going forward. And it's boxing. I love boxing. I mean, even though there's the bad part on it, bad things that happen, but still love it. Still want to give people great fights, and they're not gonna push me down. They're not gonna make me retire. I'm gonna keep going strong. And
right.
what better? Drama is the best story, right?
Right, absolutely. Ismael, any questions for Mauricio?
Yes, Mauricio. I know you mentioned just a couple minutes ago that your power might be something that you're going to try and work on. Can you explain for the fans out there how a boxer can go about working on increasing their power? Because I know a lot of people assume, if you don't have power or if you have moderate power, wherever you stand, that's kind of normally something that you're just born with and you really can't cultivate. So just kind of explain how that can be something you can work on going forward.
You know what? It's which I believe it also. Maybe George Foreman. I guess I said it one time. You're born with it. With power, and I feel you are. I mean, if there was a way to really be a power puncher, I think everybody will be knockout artists. I think you're born with power, and if you don't have as much power, I think you can improve a little bit, but you can't really be a total power puncher. I know I can get a little stronger. I'm always learning. I can keep training hard, trying new things, and just get a little more pop in my punches. I think it'll help. Won't make a complete turnaround, and I'm gonna be honest, it won't make me to a knockout artist. But I know I can work on just getting a little more power into my punches. But I've been working on the style I have and what I've been given. And sometimes these guys are faster than me, and sometimes I tend to throw fast punches than to sit down on my punches. Because sitting down on my punches, you usually show when you're going to throw a power punch. You can see that coming, and sometimes I have to not throw so hard in order to throw fast punches. But you can really sit down and throw and hit pretty hard. I can sit down on my punches and get a little more pop, but I also take the risk of, when I'm fighting a fast guy, of letting him kind of see that coming and catch me first.
And I know a lot of people are claiming that this was a robbery, so to speak. I wanted to get your opinion, just your gut reaction, because I know Bob Arum, he tried to frame it as, well, because we have so many cards going on, we didn't get top-notch judges for all of the fights, yada, yada, yada. Do you think that's the issue where it's just the judges need more training, or do you think it was actually a corruption issue that we saw on Saturday?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be any one of those. I don't know if these judges are tired, or they just get bored after a while, and they just doze off, or what it is, or they just they get woken up by the crowd yelling, and maybe it was a miss or on the glove, on the a shoulder shot or something, and they just get it wrong that night for some reason, and or they just seem to just judge on power alone, and there's some judges that score on punches being landed, whether they're hard or not. But even then, Benavidez didn't even throw enough, to win these rounds. So, I don't really know what it is behind it. I don't know if it's they're paid off or they just were off that night. It could be different things, but I think if we just keep talking about it and expose them and or maybe interview some of them, do something, I think to get them to just score and be fair all the way around, whether you're a power puncher or not.
I like to answer that question because two of those judges were experienced, Max DeLuca and Dave Moretti. They score Vegas fights all the time. The other one, Eric Cheek, he was much less experienced, but he had the same score as DeLuca did, and Moretti had it the widest. I mean, I didn't think it was the worst thing in the world for Benavidez to get the decision. Like those, if he had a 115, 113 type decision, that was the type of bad decision that happens all the time. What was striking about this card was the fact that Moretti somehow gave Benavidez 9 rounds. That's what made it unrealistic.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like I never even had a chance in going in. They only gave me 3 rounds. What was I supposed to do?
Absolutely. Brandon, do you have questions for Mauricio?
I was just going to say, kind of reiterate, something you'd asked him earlier is, you keep getting all these fights that are so close and so questionable as far as the losses go. I mean, are you maybe willing to maybe step down in competition and maybe fight some lower tier guys, beat them up a little bit, maybe win some fights on the card to build that confidence back up, or like you said, are you just going to go full steam and just the next big name who's willing to sign on the dotted line, you're willing to fight him?
Yeah, I'm going for the biggest names out there. No sense in going backwards. I want to just go forward and fight the bigger and better guys. I think that just brings the best out of me. I mean, Benavidez wasn't as aggressive as the other fighters that I faced. I think, Provodnikov, Alvarado, those guys were aggressive and really brought the best out of me. I think those fights are more fan entertaining. So I think going for the bigger and aggressive guys, tough guys, big names. All the big names are aggressive fighters. So I think that my confidence is still high. I still feel I can give anybody a problem. I can spoil anybody any night. I want to just keep proving that I'll fight the best.
Absolutely. We have someone in the queue. I think we have someone in the queue, I think, who wants to ask a question. Just one moment. You are now on live with the Ruckus team and Mauricio Herrera. Who am I speaking to? Hello, 559. Hello. You're on with the Ruckus. Hello. Okay. I think we lost 559. We got somebody from the 347. 347, you are on with Ruckus. Who am I speaking to?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Mauricio? This is Mike from New York.
Hey, what's up? Hey, Big Mike.
Hey, what's going on? Mauricio, I have a question. Well, first and foremost, you were robbed. Okay, I scored at 116, 112. You were definitely robbed. I don't see how the judges gave Benavidez 9 rounds. That was absolutely ridiculous. So, and everyone asked pretty much about what I wanted to ask. Where do you go from here? Who are you looking for to fight at 140 at this point?
I think HBO and I think Golden Boy was letting me know that they were interested in maybe fighting Provodnikov again on HBO. Oscar said he's been still working on trying to convince Danny's dad to get Danny to fight me in a rematch. I think he said the only thing is Al Heyman's in the way, and maybe they can convince his dad. Maybe that'll get to him.
Danny's in the way. Take it from me. Danny's in the way of that fight happening.
Yeah, but Danny's not gonna want that fight. But we'll take any names right now. I think Provodnikov will be another interesting fight. I think that'll be a fan friendly fight, not a fighter friendly fight, but a fan friendly fight. I think it'll be a nice entertaining fight for the people, and I think I'm still in a good spot. I'm still in a good spot. Golden Boy's still gonna, I think, throw big names at me, and HBO, I guess, still wants me back, and I still got a lot to prove.
Speaking of that Provodnikov fight, that was a close fight that a lot of people thought Provodnikov won. So my question to you is, compared to the people that have gotten questionable decisions over you, do you think Provodnikov did better than they did?
Provodnikov, of course. Provodnikov, that was a good scrap. He did way more than Danny or this guy put together. That was a tough fight. That made that brought more out of me too as well. Got me to just keep pushing harder. He's a very tough guy. It was one of my first big fights with Provodnikov. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot since, and I think I'll be a lot more smarter in the second time around. But that was a close fight too. That was a fight where could have been judged on power and Favour's line, or there were more punches landed by me. That one was a close fight. So I mean, I think I say it will be another. It can be another close fight again, or depending on I think on my experience that I've gone through with all my fights. Sometimes I think maybe I can make it a little easier on myself.
Okay.
don't think you're willing to make it easier on yourself. You know, when you have that fighter's heart, an easy fight, I don't foresee you taking an easy fight anytime in the near future. You know, I'm not expecting to turn on my TV and find the guy that was fighting Mickey Rourke in the ring with you. I'm not expecting to see that. You know, I just don't anticipate you taking an easy fight anytime soon. You know, let me ask you a fun question. Did you watch the Mickey Rourke fight?
Which fight?
Mickey Rourke, the actor, 60, 70, 80. How old is Mickey Rourke? Did you watch the his fight, his quote unquote fight?
Oh, Mickey Rourke fight. Oh no, I didn't get a chance to see that.
Oh, you know, shameless plug. Watch it on Bad Culture. You know, pop you some popcorn. You can giggle. You can watch him fake a heart attack and then hit the guy with the left foot. If you're bored one night, you know, check it out. All right, Mauricio. Well, before we let you go, you know, I think we have somebody else who wants to speak with you. 408, you are on with the Ruckus crew and Mauricio Herrera. Who am I speaking to?
This is Abraham.
Hey,
what's going on, Abraham?
How you doing? I had some of mine. It was lingering from the last fight too with Danny. You know, they're always the guys that's favorite to win, and obviously, you know, they did win. You can see it by their body language in the corner that they thought they were both going to lose. But how does this? So I thought, you know, I know you're starting with Golden Boy, but I thought this time was just ridiculous. I mean, with the Danny fight, you know, somebody could have leaned towards a draw, but this fight was embarrassment, I think. For anybody, any casual fan watching a fight, it was, you know, it's the reason why a lot of people stop watching boxing, because, you know, stuff like this. Excuse my language for shit like this. So I know you're looking to fight. You know, you were just talking about fighting Provodnikov again, and you know, a loss like that, loss like this is not really a loss to me. You know, us, you know, true boxing fans that watch it, if anything, we just get pissed off about it, because I was pissed off about it. In fact, I didn't even want to watch the next fight. I was so upset about it. But do you think this is, I know he's an upcoming guy, but do you think this has something to do with him being the top-ranked guy and you being a Golden Boy and this being on HBO? Do you think that has anything to do with it? Do you feel this has anything to do with it?
I could. You know, I hear different things, and sometimes I lean to think, you know, was this all set up, or Bob Aaron's side, you know, and you know, it may be, you know, I'm always getting the hard decisions of being in somebody else's backyard or promotional company with their fighter, and you know, it could be a Bob Aaron thing. It was his guy, you know, like they said, it was they were trying to make a star out of him, and they were just trying to use me.
Yeah, and looking for one more thing, guys. I'll let you guys go, but you know, the best thing that could happen is for him to, you know, become that superstar that they want him to become, and then this will be a black eye on his record, I think, because sooner or later, you know, true boxing fans, they're going to want to see this fight again. That's what I think. You know, this is what happened with Floyd when he got Castillo rematch. Obviously, Floyd was a lot better, but I just think even then Mauricio was cooling down as well. But anyway, that's all I have to say. Great show, guys. I like watching you, man. I'm still gonna watch you. You know, I think all the guys that really true boxing fans are still gonna support you, and everybody feels the same way. So
yeah, appreciate it.
Hey, Abraham, before you hang up, what's your Twitter handle? For calling in during Mauricio's segment, you are the winner of a limited edition Mauricio Herrera T-shirt. Very, very limited, and we would like to, the good folks at Supreme Boxing would like to bless you with this limited edition shirt. What's your Twitter handle?
That's Abraham95122.
Oh,
I'm one of your followers.
I know. You know, I got a few crazy Abraham. You cracked me up. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm going to share your Twitter handle with Supreme Boxing, and they're going to hook you up with a shirt, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
No problem.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
You too, man.
Right. All right, Mauricio, as always, it is an absolute pleasure. Once again, I scored the fight in your favor. Our panel unanimously scored the fight, as most people on planet Earth whose last name has not been Benavidez pretty much saw you winning the fight. So, just hang in there, man. Keep your head up. You get a lot of love from the boxing fans out there, and it's a pleasure to see you in the ring.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me. You guys kept my head up. I'm going to stay positive. Just keep on punching, and I'll be back.
All right. We look forward to it. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you very much.